What's up, YouTube? So, we're in the garage today, obviously. We're gonna be working on this beautiful little Blazer here today. I'm just gonna kind of go over what we're doing. Sorry, I didn't mean to spin around like that. I know that messes with y'all sometimes. I'm gonna kind of go over what we're doing to this thing. I don't really know if it's gonna be a how-to. I don't think so. I'm learning on this thing as well. But just kind of go over what all we are going to do, what all we have done, and I just thought y'all might want to see it, man, because this thing's actually pretty nice. He's put he's got a lot of time in it, getting it redone. I'm not sure the whole story on it. I know he said when he bought it, a lot of it was still in boxes as far as parts and stuff. I know it's been repainted. Sorry, it's cold in here. He's got a lot of new parts on it, new parts going on it. That's why it's here. This is gonna be the final place, and it's gonna leave here completely done. So we'll do a little walk around of it and kind of show you what's going on, show you the Blazer itself, and yeah, so let's do a little walk around on this, and that way y'all can at least see it, and then I'll explain what all we're doing. Alright, so y'all seen the walk around now. Just so you know, I did not paint this vehicle. It came to me already painted. So, obviously you can see some overspray. I know everybody gets some overspray unless you just completely disassemble everything. There's a little extensive on it. There's a lot of stuff I think, even on if they would have took their time and taken some stuff up, I think there's a lot that could have been done to prevent some of it. I don't know who painted this. Even if I did, I wouldn't tell. I think the guy told me who painted it, but I don't remember. But let me show you kind of what I'm talking about as far as the overspray, as far as what I feel would have been preventable. But then again, and I'll tell you, because we do paint cars, a lot of it depends on how much money you want to spend, right? I do think that I don't know if they just said we can paint it for this, or I don't know what the options they gave you was. There's some things I think could have been prevented with, you know, a little bit of time. But anyway, let me show you. We'll start with this. Like, they at least took the hood off, obviously you can tell. And the reason I know they took the hood off is because on the hinge where they didn't take it off, they didn't tape it or anything, right? So this is something that I feel like could have been prevented. Literally, it's 2 bolts, 3 bolts. I think it's just 2. It's just a couple bolts, and you could have took this whole hinge off, prevented that, correct? Like this. Obviously, this is new. This hose here. Like, little stuff like that could have been prevented. They could have just put it in a plastic bag and taped it or something, you know. This bracket here, literally 2 bolts, maybe 3 if it's got one in the bottom. the biggest thing that bothers me on this is just like this. Even if you got overspray on this, why not go back and touch it up with some black, right? But you could have easily laid a piece of plastic or a blanket or anything in there. This is the big deal for me. Obviously, laying a blanket across this would have, now it's got a different carburetor and breather on it than when they painted it. But just laying a blanket across this would have prevented all this overspray on this engine. Maybe it wasn't the nicest engine, but it doesn't matter. Like a simple blanket over that would have prevented it. You know, some things I can kind of understand, you know, but like this would have been what, one screw, one Phillip head screw. They could have took this off, pushed it off to the side, and laid it under that blanket, right? Some things I could kind of understand, but just like the battery, how did the battery get overspray on it right there? They had to have been spraying here, nothing on this. Even like this, I mean, you could have laid a blanket across all this. Not even as far as going like, and I say that as you wouldn't even have had to take this up. Obviously, I don't know how they didn't get paint all over this. Actually, yeah, I do. They resprayed this because look, you got black paint here. So I don't know, just oversight, you know. I don't know who done it. And somebody that looked at one of my cars could probably say somewhat the same thing. Obviously, they took the hood off. I think that was a good move, especially them wanting to paint the inner fenders and stuff. See, this side's the same way. So they got black paint here. Now this thing's been painted a couple times, so this overspray could have been from a couple different shops. A long story on that, but it's because they got orange on this, but then it's like they painted this and got overspray here. So now they got overspray on both pieces. I don't know, just little oversights. But I think the biggest thing for me is drape something over the motor, and that way you don't get it all over the motor, you know? I don't know. Just my opinion. What do y'all think? Leave it in the comments. But then again, you know, it goes back to options and what you pay for. The stuff on this, like, okay, well, if you're not going to pay me the labor to take this off, like, I get it to a point. I still think you could have took 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and laid something over this engine to get away from that. A lot of this other stuff, like the hoses and stuff, I get. It's little stuff that if you're not going to pay that little bit of extra money, but I don't know the whole, like I said, I wasn't the one that painted it. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to point out every little thing, but because this is a really nice vehicle. But they did paint the inside. They painted the inside of the doors. They painted the dash. We got a steering wheel that's going to go on it. I got to put a steering wheel on it. He wants me to see if I can get the horn working, so we're going to try that. He's got a new vent piece to go in the dash. I got to take the radio out to do it, and then when I put the radio back in, I got to wire it because they did not wire it up. I got to put the door seals on, and they're missing some pieces. I don't know if the guy that was telling him to order the parts just didn't know about some of them, or I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of on the back side of this project. But they tried to put the pieces up, right? On these seals, they got pins that go in here. The seals themselves do not have the holes for the other side of the pin. You got to make them. But whoever put the seals on the first time did not do that, and they just put glue adhesive on it. The bad thing is it's up here, and there's no seal that goes here. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna try to get that off for him. So I got to put these seals in. I don't have them on anymore, but the pieces that they put in here that clip in here, they cut them off like right here. They cut them off short on both sides. We're doing the vent windows, doing all the seals in them. They didn't order the pieces for these, and they didn't order the retainer that goes right here. So I've got that coming. Just a bunch of little oversized stuff. We do have door panels. He had the door panels redone. It's got new window rollers, everything like that. Like, this thing's super nice. A lot of little stuff, and I might be picking it, and I'm not really picking it. I'm going over all this stuff with this guy to see what he does and don't want to do. I did fix this door seal. This door seal here, they stuck it in and didn't even glue it. So it was like, it was falling down and stuff. So I went in and I put the adhesive on it. I'll show you what I put on it, but I put the adhesive on it, and then I put it up and I taped it in multiple spots. Like I taped tape it here, tape it here, tape it here, tape it in this corner. Like I taped it in multiple places. And when they done this, they actually had this rubber completely tucked up underneath this, and that's not how it's supposed to go. So we fixed that for him. This piece wasn't all the way to the top, it was down to like here. So we got it pulled up and taped up, glued and all that stuff. So this thing's super nice. One other thing they didn't do is these things have a seal that actually goes in this piece here. This is a metal piece that holds the seal in. There's actually a little bit of the seal still in there. See it? So they didn't put a seal in. So I got to put a seal here and I got to put a seal here. I'm having issues getting this up. I'm not exactly 100% sure how this comes up. I can get it to come up like this far, just enough to get the tailgate down. So they also, I don't know where it's at now. This thing, I can raise it up. Let me get this raised up here. I can't either, I got stuff here. But anyway, on the tailgate here, oh, see it's missing this middle piece. So they just, all right, something happened to my phone. I've done a new update on my phone. It's been a piece of crap. So this piece here that I was talking about, they glued it in, but it actually takes inserts, and they didn't use the inserts. So you gotta figure out how to do that, but got a new one coming with inserts, got a new tailgate handle coming, because it's kind of bent, so it rubs that piece, probably what caused it to break. That's not part of it, that's part of something else. But as you can see, he's got all the seals, he's got a lot of the seals. There's the steering wheel, there's that piece. So that's the piece, and look, they painted it, but it's supposed to have little retainer clips or something that goes on it. So before I start tearing this apart, I'm gonna find out what it needs. But the tailgate handle rubs it and knocked it off, so. Got that. Got this piece goes underneath the cowl. So I gotta take the cowl off, put that on. These are actually for a pickup truck with the frame around the door, and they go in like that for the window to roll up into, but this one does not have the frame around it. And there's some stuff that is here that's the old stuff, but got most of the seals here ready. He's already got this piece and this piece, I think. So he's waiting on a couple more pieces to come, and I gotta wait on a couple pieces to come to get it finished up. But hopefully we're gonna have everything soon. But yeah, what y'all think about it? Leave it in the comments. Tell me what you think. I really like this thing. New grill, new bumper, bunch of new parts on this thing. But yeah, we gotta take this cowl off. So today, I'm gonna work on taking this cowl off. I gotta take this antenna off, the wipers. It's got a bolt here, it's got a bolt back in here, and then it's got all these screw heads. Taking the screws out. So I'm gonna work on taking this off here. When I get it off, I'll get back to you. So give me just a second. Man, I hate when I'm trying to take a video and I click on it and click the button and it's a picture. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we got the cowl piece off of this. As you see, I always put tape anywhere it's gonna touch. Oh, it's backwards. Anywhere that it might touch, I put tape, just so it don't damage anything. Let me show you what we got going on and what we're doing here. And yeah, give you an idea, and then I'll show you when it's back together. He's got these black mesh grates that go in there, and it goes underneath this piece to hide under here, and that way I guess a bunch of leaves and stuff don't get down in there. But I haven't taken these out of the package yet to even really see, and none of this stuff comes with instructions, so you either gotta wing it or look up how to do it. I know this is a YouTube video, but I also look up stuff on YouTube trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna take these apart. Obviously that's for a wiper. You can see the thing there. There's one over there for a wiper. So I think the ones with the brackets are maybe the middle. I don't know. Let me get this out of here. I'll open it up and then we'll spread it out here on the tailgate. See what it looks like. All right, here you go. So to give you a look, realistically, they will only go on one way because of how they got the holes cut out, obviously. So it just sits on there. It's two pieces. It sits on there like so. And then you'll bring your piece back in and set it down, bolt everything up. You'll probably have to take a pick or something to get down in here and grab a hold of these and move them a little bit. We'll see how good it sits in there. While we put, I got dust on the hood. I blew all this stuff out for him. It's still got some in it, but we'll see how good it sits on there and see if we got to use a pick, and I'll let you know. But yeah, that's gonna clean that. That's gonna look pretty good because you put that on, it'll be orange, and then you'll see the black mesh underneath of it. Kind of help a little bit from getting leaves and stuff down in there. So, all right, let's get it put on. All right, so we're here working on this thing. I'm gonna kind of show you what I have done and where we're at on this and what we got left, somewhat what we got left. It's actually probably tore apart more than it was before, but let me turn this around and show you what I got. So I haven't put the other wiper on yet, but we put this black mesh piece in here. So we got that put in. We got this window seal put in. I had to put some stuff on it there, so I got it taped up, hold it. And then I got to get my other pieces before I can fully attach this. These things, the way this is made, I'll show you in just a second, but we got both of those on. Put the brake pedal thing on. Started taking the radio out because I got to get the radio out and take that out and put it on. We got one of the vent windows done, back together. It's in, new seals in it. I'm waiting on him. He's getting me some felt to go in here so we can put it back on. So we got that one done. We've got this side, same deal. I'm letting this dry. Get this put on there. It's got a piece that goes right here, and then it's got the rain retainer that goes there. I've got the other vent window pretty much done. Go from there. But that's pretty much about where we're at on this thing right now. As soon as he gets me those felt pieces that go on that, there's around this hatch, actually around this, when these come off, they screw out right here, and it takes a rubber seal that goes here across the bottom. I've cut my finger open, just so we know. Just now saw that. Just cut my finger open. I don't know how I did that. Oh, I do know what I did that on. I did that on that brake pedal. I did it on this. Man, this thing right here is not fitting very well. It goes on the gas pedal. But anyway, you gotta put these on. That way it seals that up. The only thing I've not figured out is I cannot get this open. I can get it to come open about this far enough to get the tailgate down. So I'll have to figure out how that opens. I'll mess with that tomorrow. Because he's got the seal coming for this. He's got the seal coming for this. He's got the, golly, my finger's gonna be sore. He's got the felt piece for the vent window, so I can put it back together. That vent piece I got, so we're making progress, slowly but surely. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have most of everything done on it, except for getting the vent windows put in and the seals around the back. He does have some, a few things we gotta do is we gotta hook up the passing gear cable on the carburetor and make sure the choke and everything works on it. That thing's soft, it's good. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of my thumb, clean up a little bit, have some supper. Yeah, so see how far we can get tomorrow. All right, so this is about the end of the video for this thing so far. Working on this Blazer. I'm going to show you kind of, hold on a minute, this heater's getting ready to come on, I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna show you kind of where we're at and what I talked to him about as far as everything and where we're going with it. Go from there, y'all, so check it out. So we got the breather cover and everything off because on these electric chokes, whenever you wire these things, they need to be wired to an ignition switch power wire. They had it wired to a 12 volt full time, so it was constantly keeping the choke open. We wired it to this. I'm going to test it again here shortly, make sure the choke opens up like it's supposed to, and we'll be good there. So make sure you get a good ground and make sure your 12 volt is for ignition switch. It only comes on when the ignition's on. We put the rubber piece in, we got that put in. I actually had to look up how to do it. I wasn't 100% sure how to do that, but anyway, if anybody else wants to know, the rubber piece goes under the cowl and lifts over, and that way when you close the hood, it pushes down. Got this piece in, got the wipers back on. Vent window, I'm gonna show you what's going on with it. He actually had to order one. But so we kind of got the door panels off of it. I got that vent window back in. Seals are in it. It's good to go, but it's coming back out, and I'll show you why We got the radio. That is I think I'm pretty sure it's a Bluetooth radio. We got it wired up. We do have the steering wheel to put on it. I didn't think he had the centerpiece, but he does. So we got that. So we got to get the steering wheel on it, get the horn working, take that vent window back out. And then right now we are working on the tailgate hinges. So he needed this piece here. I know I showed y'all earlier. He got a new one of these. It's got the retainer clips with it. So we'll get that put on. But his tailgate handle, I'm not gonna lift it up because I got all this stuff here. But his tailgate handle is like a little off, a little bent. I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, see how it's been rubbing a little bit? It could be because they had that piece on wrong, so you can see the glue still on it. And it could be just because it's been, he got a new tailgate handle. And it was, he said that the whole kit for the tailgate assembly stuff wasn't much more than just buying the handle. So he bought the handle and ended up with some new hinges. Got new pieces to go here, new rods to go inside. Because we'll have to take this off. And we'll have to take these off. But as you can see, this is what was on it. As you see, we got the hatch up. And I couldn't really figure out what was going on with it. When I would go to try to pull it up, it was acting like it was stuck. Didn't want to come up. Come to find out, all it was is I guess they painted these. I'm gonna assume that they did. Obviously, it's got new bolts in it there, new bolts in it here. So I guess they painted these, but when they did, the paint was thick on it, I guess. And then between the paint and them not grease them, they wouldn't come up. So I got it up, grease them, goes up and down like it should. We do have the seals for this now, so we're gonna put the seals on these. We're going to check the brakes on it because the brakes ain't 100%. I don't feel like they're right. He didn't feel like they were. He actually brought it up. He brought it up. We didn't feel like it was 100% correct. So I'm going to check the brakes on it. The only other thing is, and y'all can correct me in the comments if you think I'm wrong on this, is the fuel pump on this thing. So originally they come with block pumps. I don't know why they did it or who done it or what's going on with it, but they left the block pump. They didn't think it was getting enough fuel. Somebody, whoever worked on it, didn't think it was getting enough fuel, so they put an electric fuel pump on it. That's fine. But what they did is they run the electric fuel pump, and then they run the hose up to the electric fuel pump, out of the electric fuel pump, into the block pump, out of the block pump, up to the carburetor. Also, another thing is, so we're going to do away with that. He's actually got, look here, y'all. This is some, like, old new stock or something. Look how old this is. But anyway, he's got a chrome plate to go over where the block pump goes. So we're going to do that. And the fuel pump, they put it near the front of the truck. This is from personal experience, what I have experienced, and what I have read. My Ford truck, I kept having problems on my electric fuel pump. Pretty much the same fuel pump style that's on this, right? But I had it up here on the fender well, obviously down low, wasn't up real high, but I went through 2 or 3 fuel pumps and I got to doing some research on it, and they say that those are better pushers than pullers. So you're better off to have the fuel pump near the tank. So I did that on my Ford truck, and I've not had a problem out of it since. I keep an extra fuel pump just in case, because there ain't nothing like being stranded and not having no fuel and having to call somebody. Ask me how I know. I think you already know how I know. Anyway, so we're going to take that fuel pump and we're going to relocate it to the back and put it on the frame rail near the tank. We're going to put it in a easy spot to get to. And that way, if he ever does have an issue out of it, he'll know exactly where it's at. He'll know exactly what tools he needs, and it will be easy to get to. So that's the plan. That's what's to come on this thing. If you're interested in this, what we're doing, I think this thing's really cool. I feel honored to get the privilege to work on this thing. We've made some slow progress for the fact of, I feel like it's been slow progress for the fact of the snow and the kids being out of school, spending time with the family, things like that with everything, but we're getting there. So as you can see, we got the seals put in. He came over, the guy that owns this thing come over this past weekend. He's really happy with everything and as far as it's got and how much work we have done, and that made me feel a little better, made me feel like we was getting somewhere on it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes on these big projects, you get kind of, you get kind of, man, I just feel like I ain't getting nothing done. I feel like you're tearing more apart than you're putting together. Okay, so I had to clean my phone up a little bit. Let's see if I can actually record now. Anyway, had the customer come in. It always feels good when a customer says, hey, look, I can tell you've been doing a lot of work, because these big projects, sometimes they can be overwhelming. I say big, this is a decent sized job. And with the snow and stuff, we've just been kind of overwhelmed with everything. But we got the hinges on. We're gonna put the other hinge on. And we got to put the center console in, bolt down the seats, along with all the other stuff I told you. So in this video, I'm gonna finish up putting these on, and then we're probably gonna call it on this video and get this uploaded and start another one and go from there. I hope y'all are enjoying stuff like this. It's cold outside. There's still snow and ice out here, and it's been over a week. I was hoping it was going to melt. I think it's supposed to be fairly warm this next day or so. So let me show you what we got. Granted, we're not the north, so we still got snow and stuff lingering around out here, and that's ice. You go step on it, you're gonna slide down the hill. But yeah, I gotta get that one pulled back up here this week. Hopefully gonna do it this evening, tomorrow, probably tomorrow sometime. That'll be another big project for y'all to see. I know he don't mind if we film that whole process with that thing. It'll end up looking like this to a point. It's not gonna be orange. You'll have to stick around for the colors and everything. So let's get this video over with. I appreciate y'all watching. Let me put this other little hinge on. I'll show you those when they're both on, and then we're gonna end this video off. So I appreciate y'all. All right, it's gonna be the last of this video. I know I said I was gonna get these little hinges on, and then I was gonna show you, and then that's gonna be the end. I did find one other thing I want to point out here, and we're gonna fix it, get it good. But anyway, so we're working on this. I got this rubber seal in, pretty neat. This has this piece, and it has the one over there, but it's missing the one for the floor. So I'm gonna look and see if I can find one and get one for him there. But this hatch would always latch on this side and not on this side. I'm gonna show you this again, pay close attention. The hatch would latch on this side, but not on this side. So, take a second, look at it. All right, now I'm gonna tell you what was going on. I took this up, this right here was not all the way on. This was bent, this was off and bent. This is what holds this rod in. So this piece was off and bent up, and this was just dangling, which wouldn't let it pull on this real well. But that wasn't the problem. What it is this one is on, and the latch catches like this, and it's open on this back side, so that can flip around, right? Look at this one. They put it on backwards. This needs to be flipped over, so this is the front piece, because you can see that's where the striker goes in. So anyway, when you're putting something back together, just make sure you put it back together. I didn't do this. This came here this way. I was gonna try to adjust on this, took the bolts loose, and I looked over and I saw that, and I thought, well, crap. So that's gonna be into this one. Got the seal in, got that on, messed with the choke, got the door seals in, the vent window seals. He is ordering another window where that vent window broke, so he's gonna have another one. He wants me to work on the rearview mirror. It's not staying good. I don't know if this is supposed to have a cover. We'll get it on. But anyway, we're done for that. That's gonna be the end of this video. Phew, man. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope y'all ride along with the rest of this. So you can see I've got the seal for this. It's actually laying right here. So I've got the seal to go around this. So we're gonna figure out how to get it on. But that's gonna be on the next one, y'all. Appreciate y'all watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you don't mind, if you don't, it is what it is. As long as you watch, I'm good with it. So appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all learned something, and see you on the next one.